because we have 8 races to come this afternoon, 2 heats per driver across the cadet, junior, senior and master categories, and it'll be fascinating to see how they get themselves up to speed. The juniors gearing themselves up, noticing actually that there's a couple of drivers in the junior category who have clearly been watching cartoons, because they have the helmet design of Capita Taira, the fabulous anime character from Japanese motorsport fame. A lot of people are very shocked when they hear that I quite like my anime. Well, when it's got race cars in it, I certainly do. I've been a massive fan of Capita, Initial D and Overtake over the years. Great to see these fantastic shows have obviously inspired the next generation of drivers. But I have counted no less than 3 helmet designs in the paddock here in IAME Series Asia, all with Capita Taira's colours. So it's clear that that's a very inspirational colour scheme for a helmet. There is the CRG Thailand driver, Toby Gale, getting himself up to speed on the far side of the circuit, just building up the speed. Toby Gale, along with brother Austin, they're not just competing in IAME Series Asia, they also go regularly to race on the continent in Europe, and are slowly starting to build themselves up into OKN battles as well in Champions of the Future. So it'll be fascinating to see how they continue their journey forward. Looks like both Sujana and Sanjana Dandu, the Singaporean-based Australian Indians, I know there's a lot of family heritage there. They carry the Australian flag on their suits. They're an Indian family by heritage, and they race under a Singaporean licence. Multinational in the world of motorsport. I think only Nikhil and Akshay Bora can argue more nationalities than that they have in terms of their origin. But the drivers now heading out onto the circuit, and they're banging in the fast times. Now we're going to start to see the times tick down. First bankers from Toby Gale, 1 minute 1986. We're going to see a lot faster than that over the next couple of laps, as drivers are slowly starting to build themselves up to speed. There are the 2 sisters, Sujana and Sanjana. 108 is Sanjana, 190 is Sujana, and you can also tell them apart because one has a pale blue helmet and one has a pink helmet, so they are very different in terms of their styles. The Fireball Motorsport twins are out there as well, Conrad Garrow and Kwanwu Lee, also known as Brian, of course. So the drivers pounding themselves around. One of the Paralins out there on the course, that is Zarif Rakal, the Malaysian driver for RR Motorsport. And we can see that Sujana and Sanjana are working very closely together to try and build up the speed in there behind another of the Kart Republics. I think that might be Rafael Kamal, the Indian driver, the sole Indian driver in the paddock, I do believe, not just in the category. In fact, it's not. It's actually Kritesh Jidayupa that they are chasing down. So my apologies, it's not India, it's Indonesia. I do apologise. So there is Sanjana, just trying to follow in behind Sujana at the moment as they continue to pound on the laps. Toby Gale has just banged in a 57.449. That'll be a fast time, and the 2 sisters have swapped positions during qualifying. So one has obviously gone quick, the other one's now going to assist their teammate and sibling. Conrad Garrow, 58.405. Good to see him there. 9/10 away from Toby Gale, but the lap times are dropping as Zarif Rakal now moves up into 2nd position for DRM, with Isaac Sayer 4th position in front of Max Bhatia. Aaron Mehta in P6 from Tianarit Janajatupa. And up to 2nd comes Gunatum Changchakal. So the DRS driver works his way to 2nd position. So Gunatum Changchakal going very well indeed there. But Toby Gale has now found a 56.5 to increase the gap yet further. Rafael Kamal now goes 2nd, the Indonesian driver. And then it's Kritesh Jidayupa from Ethan Sito. The Malaysian has just gone up into 4th position there for the 7 Racing team. Sanjana Dandu was 5th. Now it's Aaron Mehta, the Singaporean, who pushes into 5th position, a 2nd away from the pace. So Toby Gale has half a second on Rafael Kamal at the moment. But there's still good times to be found as Max Bhatia has gone 7th quickest. Up to 2nd comes Conrad Garrow, 1/10 of a second away from Toby Gale. So Toby Gale hoping to extend it, and Zarif Rakal now steals pole position, but Toby Gale snatches it straight back again. A 56.09 for him. Zarif Rakal taking pole position for about 2 seconds tops, as he set a 56.547, but Toby Gale is finding the pace for CRG Thailand. And on the home straight, the 127 crossing the line, that's Kritesh Jidayupa going 2nd, 4/10 back from Toby Gale now. So Zariev Rakal in third position from Conrad Garrow, then Kunatem Chengchakul. Up to the top comes Ethan Sito, 56.06, 0.03 of a second quicker than Toby Gale. So Ethan Sito now takes provisional pole in front of Gale, Chiriupa, Rakal, Meta and Garrow. Excellent work so far, and the top 10 drivers are covered by a second. Very competitive as always in IAME Asia. And down goes Isaac Saya, 56.7 for him at the moment. 7th position in front of Kunatem Chengchakul. Up to second again comes Zariev Rakal, and on to pole again goes Toby Gale, 55.7 from him. So 55.70 for Toby Gale, who takes back provisional pole position for the CRG Thailand squad. Ethan Sito still there in second. Up to fourth comes Kunatem Chengchakul for DRS, and he's just in behind Zariev Rakal, the Malaysian. Up to second comes Kritish Chiriupa now, 0.3 of a second back in the Forza. So Toby Gale just ahead of Kritish Chiriupa. Ethan Sito third from Zariev Rakal, Kunatem Chengchakul and Conrad Garrow. And up to sixth now comes Isaac Saya, so the auto-ing driver now into P6. Ahead of Conrad Garrow, Aaron Mehta, Rafael Kamal and Sanjana Dandu rounding out the top 10 for CWESI. The Intianaret Janajatupat in front of Kevin Supapanishinon. Nadal Imjadpanya from Sujana Dandu. Mark Svaric. Up to third comes Conrad Garrow for Fireball. Into third position comes the Singaporean. And into pole comes Zariev Rakal, straight away taken back again from Toby Gale. But Toby Gale gets it back once more, 55.57. So Zariev Rakal, the Malaysian, really pushing here to try and take pole position away from Toby Gale, as Kunatem Chengchakul gets back into third place on a 55.89. Still more time to find for Kritish Chiriupa, who goes third again, 55.811. I think that time may have been disallowed there somewhere along the way. Up to seventh comes Kevin Supapanishinon. So Kevin Supapanishinon is now in seventh place in front of Isaac Saya, Rafael Kamal and Aaron Mehta. Sujana Dandu is 11th in front of Tianarit Janajatupat from Mark Svaric, Kwanwu Lee, Nadal Imjapanya. Sanjana Dandu, Max Bhatia all the way down in 17th, not sure what's happened to him. And Panyakorn Aramrasamy in 18th place. Toby Gale goes across the line at 55.575, the best time we've had from him so far, and he's just beaten that. No, Zariev Rakal has. Zariev Rakal's done a 55.377. Toby Gale a 55.398. So Zariev Rakal has just banged in a provisional pole position lap. The Malaysian driver may just have taken this in the closing stages of qualifying. But I have to say, in the cooler conditions, the tyres are lasting a lot further into the session than we thought they were going to. A lot more improvements are being made this time. Fastest laps coming in on the 6th and 7th lap around. Up to third comes Kevin Supapanishinon. And into fourth comes Ethan Sito. I have to say, this morning's rain may have been unpleasant at the time, but I'm delighted that it's been here because it's really shaken up the order a little bit here from the drivers who are finding a little bit more tyre life than they might have first envisaged. The checkered flag is 30 seconds away. 109 across the line. It's Conrad Garrow. Not quite able to find another time there into the 55s. And there's no improvement from either Zariev Rakal or Toby Gale. That might be all she wrote, and that would be a brilliant steal from Zariev Rakal, the DRM driver, to work his way into pole position ahead of Toby Gale and Kevin Supapanishinon. Ethan Sito in fourth place. Kritish Chiriupa and Kunatem Chengchakul. Then Conrad Garrow, Isaac Saya, Mark Svaric and Rafael Kamal. There's the checkered flag. Any final improvements to be made? Looks like Rafael Kamal's moved up to 9th place in the closing stages of his lap, as there is the 121 of Rafael Kamal finishing up. But up goes Isaac Saya ahead of Conrad Garrow now. So moving into 7th place. But I think that's all she wrote. I'm not entirely sure Zariev Rakal is going to be beaten here by Toby Gale in the closing stages of the session. Toby Gale trying to maximise the final little bit out of the car. Any final changes as Conrad Garrow comes across the line? Toby Gale trying to find a little bit. He can't do it. So it is going to be Zariev Rakal, the Malaysian, who gets the top spot in qualifying. Absolutely brilliant there from the Malaysian driver. Doing an absolutely sensational job in qualifying. He gets a 55.377. And with that final push in the closing stages of qualifying, it is Zariev Rakal who gets the pole position for Malaysia and for the DRM racing team. Excellent work indeed from Double R. And Zariev Rakal very happy with that. There's Toby Gale, second position for CRG Thailand. He can be happy with that. It's a good start to the weekend for him. He would have liked, of course, to go for pole position, and he was very close indeed to it.